All right, TBC family, we are live tonight. I'm so excited to be with you. I have two amazing guests. So, before I get started, here's what I want you to do: grab your pen, grab your paper, just like I have mine right here. It's all ready because I am going to be taking notes from these two amazing women, and I want you to do the same. My name is Tori Hill from Houma, Louisiana. And I'm first going to go through some housekeeping, then I'm introduce our special guest. So, for all of you that are brand new, I want to say welcome. Welcome to this amazing community that I call family. And what I want you to do is, I want you to go in the chat, say where you're from, and let's interact. I do have a little ADD, so I am not going to pay attention to your chats because I am focused on the information that I want to give you tonight. So, first off, you should have got an email today, just like I did, from corporate. And in that email, it's going to tell you everything that's happening for this week. The first big thing, if you haven't heard about it, is our promotion for our AM and our PM. This promotion is huge. In fact, it's so big, I printed it out and I want to read it to you. This month, new customers who spend $150, talking about dollars, not SV or PV, $150 or more in their first order in August will also receive the Rise AM and Reset PM system for free. An exclusive offer for new consultants that sign up in August. Consultants who purchase an enrollment pack of $249.99 or more will automatically receive free Rise AM and Reset PM system with their first order. It's a value pack of $62.49 and it's for free. I've been on these products for a while now. It's extra minerals that we need in our system during the day and at night. I love it. If you're not on it, set your subscription to have it because guess what happens? If you're on a subscription, you will get this 50% off in the month of August. Plus, if they create a subscription and keep the Rise AM and Reset PM system in their subscription, guess what? Throughout the end of the year, they will receive it for 50% off. I think that is huge. Next thing is, and remember, this is all in your email. So check your email. And if you don't have an email from corporate today, call them. Make sure your email is set correctly because you want to receive that. It keeps you plugged in on what's happening throughout corporate, all the overviews, all the science, everything. Next thing is 23 free. If you haven't heard about it, if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, 23 free is an amazing, amazing thing that's happening right now that Brandon Cunningham has in place and a few others. We've got a Facebook group page. If you are not in that Facebook, please, please, please reach out to a leader, reach out to someone so we can add you. It's all about what can we help people with to free up in the year of 2023, like a cell phone bill, card note. What if it's to pay for people's products? It's great information. So make sure you're plugged into 23 free. Next is Evolve. Okay, this is the last month, our comp plan that is going through that transition. Come September 1st, we're going to be in full swing with our new Evolve comp plan. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to check your numbers, check your SV. If you are not sure what to do and what's needed to get paid, please reach out to someone and let us help you. Next is All In to San Antonio. I don't know about you, but I'm all in. And they have overview meetings happening in certain areas. Check your calendar, check Big Blue, and also it's in your email. Check where those meetings are happening. I'm all in. I can't wait. Next, San Antonio. I hope you're registered for San Antonio. It is going to be an amazing event in October. San Antonio, I can remember, was probably one of my favorite events. And every time I go, they are fascinating. They're amazing. So get registered. If you're not registered, do it ASAP. Also, tonight is two amazing, wonderful ladies, and it's all about selling. Yeah, we are salespeople. I know we share information, we share stories. I don't feel like a salesperson. I feel like someone who is educating and helping people, but yet we are selling products, right? So tonight it's all about that, about what can help you be a diamond seller, what can help you to keep those customers, what are we doing to track them, approaching certain customers, how do we do that? So if you don't have your paper and pen, grab it now because you're going to hear some amazing things from these two women. Have you ever heard of Sarah Blakely? I know you heard of Spanx, right? She is the founder of Spanx. I follow her on Instagram. If you're not following her, you should. I think she's an amazing woman, entrepreneur, always positive. I have learned so much from her. She posted something probably about 2, 3 years ago that I have kept in my mindset, and it has helped me to help people and sell products. Because here's what she taught me: sell the problem you solve, not the products. I'm going to say it again: sell the problem you solve, not the products. That makes so much sense to me. So it's going to bring me to my first guest, Terry oh gosh, Terry, you're going to have to help me. Tomlinson. I think I said it right. I'm getting tongue tied. But Terry's amazing. She's got a great story, Dr. Terry, and I've been knowing her for quite a few years. Let me bring her on right now. There she is. Terry, did I say your last name right? I got tongue tied.
Yeah, you did. It's
Okay,
Tomlinson.
great. I love it.
Perfect.
So, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I've gotten to know you over the years, and I've got some great questions for you. So, my first one, just tell us a little bit about you, why you said yes to LifeVantage.
Why I said yes to LifeVantage. Well, first of all, I've been in natural health going on 45 years. And I got into natural health for the reason most people get into natural health, because I was sick. I grew up during the era of penicillin. My mom was the penicillin queen. Our family doctor would come actually to the house and administer a shot of penicillin every other month, it seemed, because that's about how long it would last before I was sick again. And I kind of grew up like that, seemed normal. I grew up also doing what my family did, string of doctors, the kind of foods we were eating, and so on and so forth. And I developed allergies, and the allergies got worse and worse, ultimately developed asthma, more tests, more shots, inhalers, developed a heart problem, more tests, more shots. But the one thing is I never actually got better, like better. And I had a little disruption. My father suddenly died of a massive heart attack. He was only 53. 5 years later, my mother died of lung cancer. She was only 57. And I woke up one day and thought, holy cow, I'm on the fast track. I'm like way ahead of them. And I'm certainly way younger. And that was how I shifted gears. I found an herbalist. I started taking herbs. And I would like to point out that the first time I started taking herbs, that herbalist had me taking 19 different capsules, 2, 3 capsules, 3 times a day. I'd make a bowl of 60 herbs, 4 bottles of water. I told my husband, who thought I'd lost my ever loving mind, that I didn't even need to eat food. I could just eat this. And so I started a journey, but I thought that didn't sound right either. And that's how I started studying. I first was a certified natural health professional, went on to be a master herbalist, a naturopathic doctor, got board certified. And I tell people I'm actually certified in every modality of natural healing, bar none. But not to be cool, just so I can live until I die without being on a respirator. So 20 years ago, I fell in love with the product. I've been using an herbal company 45 years, still do. And this product was cut into the chase. You didn't have to take so much. And I became so passionate, I became the number one distributor in the world. Now, the cool part was everybody calls you when you're in that position. And so one day, a lady calls me, and this was almost 8 years ago, and she caught me off guard. And this is something important just in talking to people. She asked for my time first. You know, do you have a minute? Yes, I do. In fact, I'm sitting here in front of my computer. Big mistake on that answer. And she goes, well, I thought, see, she had lupus, and I thought she was calling for help, and I'll help anybody. I really will. And so, but instead, she wanted me to see a video, and it turned out to be the ABC primetime video. And so I gave her a whole lecture on how I'm a whole raw living food person. You know, I've got 650 herbal products, tinctures, Bach flower remedies, essential oils. I doubt there's anything really new under the sun, just different combinations. And then I watched the video. And I called her back and I said, okay, you did get my attention, but I'm going to have to marinate on this. And I promise you, when I say I watched it 100 times over the next 3 days, before I told my husband I had to go to the company and find out about it because I'm a big researcher of anything that's going to go in my body. And I did. And the end result was I couldn't even believe the science. I couldn't even believe how you could cut to the chase. You know, if you're taking a lot of supplements, vitamin E, vitamin C, CoQ10, on and on, they're all antioxidants. You're telling me I take this one little yellow tablet, my body will produce 1 million antioxidants every second of the day? Game changer. So that's kind of where I got started with LifeVantage.
I love that. I love how she approached you for your time. Do you have time? I love that. So that's one point there. But this is
Mhm.
what I'm excited about. I was talking to you and Jill, Jersey Jill, the other day, and you shared something with me that was an eye opener. It really was. And first, I have to make a disclaimer that this approach that she's about to share with us is not just for doctors. I started thinking about it. This could be shared with hairdressers, spa owners, nail salons, wellness clinics, herbal clinics, anyone in those fields. So she has a certain approach, and I want you to read it to us. And you might even have to tell us twice because people are taking notes right now. I wrote it down, I had to. So, what is your approach that you shared with me?
Okay, well, I was telling you about the new research on the glow stack, the NRF2, and the collagen. And the new research, for those of you that saw the presentation with our 6 doctors, all of them way over my head in intelligence, sharing their excitement about this research. So for me, after listening to them, I went in and I pulled the research. And so the first thing you guys have to know is it's in our back office. I tell my team all the time, I think I'm the only person that actually reads every single thing in the back office. I not only read it, but I print it out and I have a book after I've read it and highlighted the things that are important. I
Wow.
put it in the book. I have tabs. If I were on the phone and you asked me a question, I could go right to that research, that paper, whatever I found that's going to be helpful because, you know, we read it once, we get excited, but you can't memorize every single thing unless you're repeating it day after day after day. So that's what I do. Y'all can't see this, but there's, yeah, oh, yeah, I guess you can, yellow highlighting of the things I felt were important. So I start reading this thing, and it occurs to me how I built my other business was exactly with this type of information. So, right in the very beginning, if you go, and any one of us can do this, go to the conclusion, get a yellow marker, and start reading because the very first sentence is talking about the fibroblasts. Okay, and it says that they're an integral part of our structural organs. And going back to what Tori said, it's the structural organs are such as your intestines, your spleen, your brain, your skin, your joints, your lung, your liver, your kidneys, and your blood vessels. So now we're covering every kind of doctor out there. And not only just doctors, every person out there. We all have these body parts, okay? So this test was done on the fiberglass glass because it was about taking normal cells and seeing what really is going to transpire with this powerful combination. We already knew it increased the antioxidants, the SOD, all of that. We already knew that from hearing, the conversation about this report. But this report goes on to say that after they did this study, and on that call, the doctors explained how impressed they were that the research and development team of LifeVantage looked at gene by gene for hours to see the effects. And of course, within this report, it gets deeper like that, not on the conclusion, but in the report for the doctors and the people that want to go that deep. But the conclusion is where the money is, ladies and gentlemen. It just is, because it goes on to say from the gene expression study, wait for it, we saw that 13,195 genes distributed over 18,671 cellular pathways were influenced in the fiberglass. What?
Wow.
Okay? So would you sound like a rocket scientist if you even read that to someone? You notice that Tori read the latest
Motion.
ad that we have. There you
Yeah.
go, the latest promotion. Same deal, guys. If you could even read that one piece, but it goes on to talk about how it's affecting the innate immune system. Now, this was a big surprise to our company, and none of this do you have to know, because here's what I would do with this. This is exactly what I'm doing with this. You've got this amazing report. You highlight a couple of these important things, and then you can call on anybody. But I was discussing calling on doctors, okay? And so let's just say you try to get to the gatekeeper, the person kind of running the practice. And here's what I did in my other business, and I'm going to tell you it really works, and here's why. If I called up and I said, "Hey, my name is Terry Tomlinson. Can I please speak to the manager of the practice?" Okay. And that person gets on the phone. All I'd have to say is, number one, do you guys carry supplements in your practice? Because most every doctor is. You go into practices now, you see it. Why do you think you see that? Because managed care has cut into the income of every single doctor out there. And they have to see a multitude of patients throughout a day in order to create their income. And so bringing in things that can create extra income help the practice without the overhead. So what I would be saying, and this is the magic sentence.
This is brilliant.
If they say yes, then you can say, and that is based on, I don't know how many saw Brandon's training that he did on this, but this is showing the numbers. So I would have a copy of this. I have a copy of the numbers, okay? And personally, I went down to 25 customers. Now think about a doctor recommending something that's going to help all of those things that I mentioned. Doctor recommends it to you, okay? And here's what happens. If he had 25 patients taking this product, now some doctors are seeing 60 a day, so pretty sure he could get to that number pretty quickly, all right? With our Fast Start program, so his first 90 days, if he had 25 patients taking this product, because of the science that we have, that he can literally go in and say it, not only would he be hitting diamond, he'd be he would be making that money, but he'd have the bonus money. So literally, I could say to him, if I could show your doctor how to increase his income by $25,000 without increasing his overhead. See, because If he wants to bring in another doc, he has to have another room. He has to have more supplies, tables, machines, all the stuff that you're going to have to keep a practice going. The overhead is killing them. It is. So if you could add 25,000, and that's a small number, you could go all the way to the 50. You could pick whatever number works for you, what you're comfortable with. But if you could say, without increasing any overhead, if I could show you how to add $25,000 a month, would he give me 10 minutes of his time? That's what you're after, the appointment.
Right.
Does that make sense to everybody? I
It
hope
does.
it does, because
I love how you said that. Would he give me 10 minutes of his
10
time?
minutes. That's
I love
all we
that.
need is 10 minutes. And with your 10 minutes, you're prepared. You have this, you have this. And if you get real fancy, you can create a order form for him. And you could also create a rack card. How many practices do you go in that there are rack cards sitting there?
True.
Okay. So these are the 4 items that you could go in with. But most importantly, if you could go in with a laptop or a iPad, any kind of a book, if you could go in and you could even just put a 5-minute ABC primetime on there, okay? Something to watch. And that for me is the one I'd be doing, the 5-minute ABC primetime. And here's the reason why. I would go in and say, I know that your time is valuable and I don't want to take up a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick video of a live blood test on national TV that shows that what I'm about to show you in this science is a fact. And what I'm going to do is after you watch it, I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let you think about it for a minute. In my words, I say marinate on it. And then you tell me what what part or parts you liked best. And ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you right now, that minute or 2 or even 3 that he's thinking is the most gruesome 3 minutes of your life because your desire to tell him what he thinks is so powerful. But here's what you're supposed to do.
Listen.
And wait, because the first person who speaks after that loses. That is a rule of thumb in any sales training on the planet. First person to speak loses, and here's why. You're thinking you know what he likes and dislikes. You think that. You're thinking you're excited about what you think, not what he's thinking. And my 2 quick examples, I called on a doctor years ago. I expected him to be all into my product immediately. And I waited and I waited and I smiled and I shook my head and it was super hard. And the first words out of his mouth were, "Can you make money at this?"
Oh.
What? Shocking. By the same token, went to a business person, did the exact same thing, waited. First words out of her mouth, which I expected to be, "How do I make the money?" She said, "Will this help with eczema?" See, because you don't know, like
Right.
whatever they hear on the video, whatever's going through their mind, that's what they're thinking. That's what you need to know. And you're right, Tori. It goes back to listen, listen, listen. So that's what I have to tell you. So if with 25 people, you would start out that first 90 days making $25,000 a year, moving on down the line, because if he can get 25 people in the 90 days, which he can, imagine what he can do from there. Imagine what that can do for your business. And just sitting on the phone, calling around, making these appointments, taught it to my team before, and I'm telling you, I know it works. I know that I know. So
And
the
we know
last
how this works too. We can reach out to 20 people, 20 doctors, hairdressers, salons, all those people. We maybe get 2 appointments. But what if those 2 right there is a game changer, right? I love this.
I'll
I
tell
love
you one last thing is I had a lady, I called a doctor. She was a hair transplant person. And she didn't answer the phone. Nobody answered the phone. I left the voicemail, that exact sentence. That woman called me back from Hawaii, a doctor, on vacation, and asked me what she had to do. So you never know, but you just make the calls. It's an easy way to start setting appointments and position yourself for someone who has the access to a lot of people that need our product.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Terry, you're
Yeah.
amazing. You're also a diamond seller.
Oh, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
I'm
you.
sapphire. I'm not diamond yet, but my goal is to be diamond, and I am working hard to help people so I could get there. So
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight, Dr. Terry. I appreciate you.
Welcome.
All right. Our next guest is an amazing person, Lynn Baird, and she's a hairdresser. She actually owns her own salon. She is a double diamond. Dr. Terry's a diamond. She's a double diamond. It's amazing. I'm just so impressed with these ladies. Let me bring her on right now. Hey, Lynn.
Hello, hello.
Hi. I'm great. Thank you for joining us tonight. I took some notes from Dr. Terry, and I know I'm going to take some from you. But first, tell us a little bit about you and why LifeVantage.
Okay, thank you. So actually this month is my 4-year LifeVantage anniversary. Pretty awesome. I'm in my salon right now, as a matter of fact, and this is where it all started. It was a client of mine who shared LifeVantage with me, and being a hairdresser for 38 years, I talk to people about their health. They share with me all the time. And I had just really been getting concerned about why people are getting so sick and their problems aren't being solved with traditional medicine. And so I was really already going down this path. And by the way, Dr. Terry, I loved listening to you. I was like on the edge of my seat with every word, just great insight. And I too was taking a lot of supplements, a lot of herbs, using essential oils. I was researching all the time and doing all that for myself. So this client, who is part of our company, who was a cancer survivor, just a beautiful soul, shared with me that she was doing something that made her body function like it was supposed to. And I was very intrigued by this. And so I asked her to send me some information, which she did. I watched that ABC primetime video and I thought, okay, this sounds too good to be true. I joined the Facebook group and I kept seeing all these testimonials, and I knew there's no way this many people are lying. So there's something to this. I need to try it because I know it can help others. And that was my foray, if you will, into LifeVantage 4 years ago.
Love that. I really do. So my next question for you, I know you share this with people. They probably sit in your chair in your salon and you are like me, so passionate about what we have. Just like Dr. Terry, we want to tell everybody. So tell me, what is your approach? And I know you're double diamond, so you're approaching all these people. What are you doing? Tell us, give us some insight to help us.
Okay. So I think most importantly, everybody needs to be true to themselves, but you have to have a very, very strong why. And I have a very strong why in my life. I simply want to help people and make the planet better while I'm here. And if I have the means to do so, I cannot keep that to myself. So having had really good results 6 weeks in, I just started telling everybody. It didn't matter where I was, if I was at a party, church, doing hair, just naturally in conversations. Whenever I hear something, it triggers in me like, oh, this could help you. And so I don't believe in attacking people by any means, but just naturally, organically, and authentically in my conversations, I share with them what I've come across. And this potentially could be helpful to you if you're interested in more information. And so that's kind of my approach. It doesn't matter where I am, who. I've gone up to strangers that I overheard talking, and I would feel guilty if I didn't share, because guess what? They can say no, and that's okay.
Right.
And I feel bad for them when they do, because it's their loss, but you can't keep it to yourself. You can't be afraid. I don't care what people think of me. I would feel terrible if I didn't share what we have and it could potentially help somebody. So today, for instance, a client that I hadn't seen in a year was just sharing with me some health issues she had. And so I shared with her a little bit of what I do along with hair, and sent her some information. I track everything in my phone. ITT once a month. I keep it in my notes, and anybody's name that has an issue, I put it in my phone and I print it off. And I have stacks of papers, but I just try to always stay in touch with people and find their pain. Or like what you said, I loved that statement about solving a problem is really all it is. And
It
so it's fun, it's natural, I love it, and it happens every day. It's just integrated into my daily life.
I love that, Lynn. I really do. You could tell you're very passionate about this. I love it. So you keep track of all your customers is basically what you're saying. So you do the follow-ups, all of that, right?
Yes, consistency is key. And so everybody on the planet is a prospect. It doesn't matter who it is, they're a prospect. I keep an ongoing list. And then I always make notes if I message them, what they have going on. And just, you have to track, like you have to be semi-organized or it's not going to work. And we cannot trust our memories because they're packed full of too many things. So that's just my method is I track everybody in my phone for every month. Like right now in my phone, in my notes, it says August ITT. It has a list of people that I've made observations. I've heard conversations. I see things on Facebook and I'll reach out to people privately. And you guys, that's how I get customers. It just works. And I get a lot of no's and that's okay. But because I'm constantly reaching out and connecting with people, I get enough yeses that thankfully it has gotten me to that double diamond status, which I'm really grateful for.
I'm so proud of you and Dr. Terry and those diamond statuses. I love it. I'm coming. I'm right behind you.
You got this.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit over, and I know people don't mind, but what I want you to do in the comments, share your love for Dr. Terry and for Lynn and for being with us tonight. And I got to share a story with you real quick, Lynn, because I talk to everybody. I really do, and I get no's all the time. I was on a plane coming back from our anniversary trip, and the girl next to me, we just connected. We just started talking, but for 2 hours, guess what I did? I picked up this from you, Dr. Terry, and you, and it's what I do. I listened to her. I listened to her problems, all of that. And at the very end of that conversation, of course, she asked me questions and all of that, but I told her, I have something that could help solve your problem in 2 ways: the products for your health and also the business opportunity. And I told her what it did for Tim and I, changed our lives. Do you know we landed, because I didn't have the Wi-Fi. I didn't pay for the Wi-Fi. I don't do that. But we landed and I sent her my link. And do you know, before I got out of the airport, she ordered 3 Protandems. 3, one for her, one for her sister, one for her mother. I'm not going to go over the issues for her sister, but it's changed her sister's life. We have kept in touch since then, and guess who's coming to San Antonio with me? Iris is coming with me, so I am so excited. So take notes from these 2 amazing ladies and share this with everyone you know. I'm going to bring Dr. Terry back on real quick. Ladies, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your passion. I hope you took some good notes, and I'm going to leave you with this because I believe sometimes when we hear things 2 or 3 times, it sticks. And I want you to remember Sarah Blakely, Spanx inventor: sell the problem you solve, not the products. Okay, so thank you, everybody. Y'all have a blessed night. Ladies, thanks again.
Thank you. Good night,
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.